Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of ESBN. I'm your host, Chippy, and so far, we've had an extremely great time with WIDR FM 89.1 that you are listening to here. We've loved the experience, all the recordings. It's been such a great time so far. This week, I'll be going over some things with the Overwatch team. I have a couple players here with me, as well as the coach, Evan, Muha, and Tyler. They're all here with me today. But before we really get into the Overwatch team and stuff like that, I have a little bit of a recaps for you guys that have been going on over our fall break that just happened. The biggest thing being our League of Legends varsity team had gone into the playoffs of these Collegiate League of Legends or the CLL fall warm-up. I had those players with me talking about that experience so far, and they did actually make it into those playoffs, and they had a tough first round loss in the playoffs against New Jersey Institute of Technology, or NJIT, in that bracket, losing 0-3. But they've made it. They know what it's like. They understand now the competition level, and they're excited for a lot more that can go their way. Meaning after that, speaking of playoffs, our Rocket League varsity team just secured the 6th seed in the ESC or MAC conference recently, picking up a nice couple of wins last night, specifically against Eastern Michigan University. And then I'm drawing a blank. What a bummer. Toledo. Thank you. It was Toledo, for sure. Because Toledo beat us in Valorant. Speaking of that, our Valorant team picked up another tough defeat against the Akron Zips, losing 1-2 after doing so well in Map 1. Map 2 and Map 3 just weren't their games. It truly just fell down to a lot of gunplay and stuff they weren't really able to adapt to. But other than that, the club teams have been doing extremely well. Our Overwatch club team, I mean, Evan, you can even attest to how well they were doing.
5-0, undefeated, no maps dropped.
28 maps in a row with no losses.
No maps.
No, 20. I mean, Max told me, or Squamu said that you're on a 28 map win streak with no losses.
Well, it's probably 15.
Did you have a draw?
There was a draw, but you can't input a draw.
You're right. Okay. So technically there is no map losses then.
15-0 in maps. It would be, since it's 5 matches. Well, technically we got a forfeit win, but whatever.
He was probably counting
He's probably counting points.
Maps. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like not like maybe like 28 points.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking too. He's probably counting the scores. I didn't think about that at all.
Yeah.
I did not consider that whatsoever. But that's pretty much the recap. I mean, besides that, we had a great fall break. I mean, Tyler and Muha, you guys are with me. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello, guys.
We're here.
How was your guys' break?
Mine was great. I got to go home, see my family, introduce them to my cat and such.
New cat Gyro.
Yes.
So cool. Muha, what about you? Did you do anything cool?
Yeah, gaming, you know.
Continue to.
I don't have to work to do assignments or anything else. You know?
That's nice.
These.
Climb back up to top 500 in Overwatch.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. Evan, I know you coach, so you don't really have school, but what about you? You do anything cool?
Fall break. I just watched football. I'm gonna be honest.
That is true.
I watched
Football
the Western team lose. Unfortunately, somehow this is the weird thing. They play against Eastern this Saturday. We're somehow favored.
What?
We're 2-6 on the road, going at Eastern, who's 4-4, and we have the betting or the point, whatever Vegas puts it at, is like -3 in our favor.
What?
So
that's crazy.
The West. I don't know. I just watch football.
Sounds like
weekend,
something's wrong.
But that's all I really did the whole time, because I practices were canceled since we couldn't use the arena. So
it's true. I forgot. We're not allowed to use the arena on football games, as that's the kind of safety lot that they use overlooking.
Yeah, I would like them to give it back.
Me too. Sometimes, yeah. We have a lot of important matches that land on those days, especially some playoff games coming up, or the end of the season Valorant games. I mean.
Well, yeah, we're gonna the Central Western home game is on a Tuesday, so we can't play the Valorant match then, which kind of sucks. I understand the whole thing of having midweek football games, just so we can be on TV, but it sucks for just scheduling, and football. People have classes too. Like they got to get out of classes for, like, you're in the band or the football team and cheerleading and dance, like all that stuff. Like everyone involved there. Like, it's just ridiculous.
It's pretty insane to even see. I've talked to some people about even going to the hockey games, and they're like, yeah, no. If I'm going to a hockey game, you don't expect to hear from me part of the morning. They're all busy going to the tailgate and stuff. So they go AWOL for like 3 hours while I'm trying to reschedule a game. I'm like, guys, please just answer me while I'm trying to reschedule a game. But enough of a football, enough of all that. We are the ESBN. You guys are listening to WIDR FM 89.1, and we are here to talk about the Esports Bronco news. And tell me a little bit more about your guys' season so far as a team, what you've been liking, you know, the highs and the lows, and especially the lows, because there are a lot of those sometimes, especially when you're, you know, a new and developing team. So even then, I mean, Muha, you know, specifically, I'll address this to you. You were once a club player for our program here at the Western. What is it like moving from the club up to the varsity level?
Yeah, first of all, thanks to Jackson, you know.
Shout
our
out
previous
Crunchy Broth.
coach.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. He helped me with the weather views last summer, last semester. That's helped me a lot to improve. And I got to top 500 too. Yeah.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit hard working with like mostly a new team. Like there's only 3 members who were on varsity that are on varsity now as well, and a lot of role swapping as well. I'm on tank now. That's been
No longer the Lucio player.
no longer the Lucio or Kiriko one trick. I'm the Doomfist one trick now. But yeah, it's hard being the only tank on the team when I really only have fun playing like 1 or 2 characters. So
What's the struggle with that? Like, you guys just have like one meta you run all the time, or
we have a few. We run like Doomfist dive comps sometimes with like an Ana Brig, just to keep the backline alive. Then we also run like JQ comps, just rush them down. We've started
Junker
playing.
Queen screams.
Yeah, we started playing a little bit more Ramatra because he got buffed in the last patch as well. It's been going all right. I'm not great at Ramatra. I haven't played him in like 5 seasons because he hasn't been good.
He's just humble. He's that good. He's that guy. He's gonna carry the team.
You
Yeah,
will.
surely,
You
surely.
You're humbling yourself.
I'll get better one day.
And then Evan, what do you think about having a Doomfist player?
I work with what I got, is all I'll say.
Just trying to make
Like,
fun of you at this point, Tyler.
Yeah, it's fine.
Obviously, I had a plan going into everything. Like, Muha's obviously graduating this semester, but gave him his chance on varsity. He's extremely flexible, and then I can have him do whatever, and then Zach just play Genji, since that's his best thing. And then my backline just plays whatever to suit our needs on the certain map. And then it's all just to be training our newest member, Jay, who's brand new to the whole thing, as he learns how the system works and all that stuff, so we can get ready for what truly matters, which is next semester, playing against the same teams we do in the MAC conference every year. Like, this semester, our performance, like, we did better than not, I guess is a good way to put it. Barely, you know, like better than average is like we finished 6-4 in the one league and then 4-3 in the other. But none of the games were like total washes. I think one thing goes our way and it's like a map win here or a map win here, a series win. Like it was like 3-2 against University of South Carolina, where it was like back and forth map wins. So it's like that could have been a completely different story. So it's like, it's all just working through and none of this really matters. There's not anything on the line. I mean, there was technically money on the line with both leagues, but the expectation to get that is not there because the schools a whole tier above us all get scholarships and all are like actually top 500 players that are just like played with each other forever and all this stuff. So it's like, I'm still happy with how we did, and there's a lot of growing pains, but that's why we have this semester. And there's going to be changes going into next semester with obviously losing Muha, new backline, all that stuff.
Roadhog rework.
Roadhog rework. Oh,
We'll see how that goes, but I doubt it's going to be good enough.
Yeah, you never know.
You're also gonna get a new tank, I guess.
There's a new tank coming out.
Yeah,
Next season.
that's true.
What?
Mauga.
Mauga.
Well, it might not be Mauga.
It has to be.
I kind of hope it's not, just because it'll
That would be
piss more people
hilarious.
off.
Make someone upset, right?
We don't know
yeah.
anything, but in 5 weeks, I want to say, we're getting Mauga.
That seems right.
Yeah, because we're almost halfway through this season
That's
currently.
weird. It feels like it just started.
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know, like seasons for Overwatch are typically like 9 weeks, and they alternate each season releasing a new character or a new map.
And then sometimes a new game mode.
Sometimes a new game mode.
Sometimes.
Which is still awesome because we've gotten 2 new game modes in a year,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Which is
How
honestly,
many years?
that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's too
So-
many. I think we need 1 game mode a year.
Yeah, honestly, the push came out with Overwatch 2 and then they released Flashpoint, so I doubt we're going to get another one for a while.
Yeah, and
But-
I feel like at one point, when they've gotten to the point where they've released like 3 more, I feel like they're going to have to start making like pools where like some seasons this game mode isn't in the
Yeah,
pool.
maybe.
It's like map pools for other games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's game mode pools.
Yeah, right.
Well, maybe
Like,
like
imagine
only
your
certain
favorite
ones will
game
be
mode.
actual competitive
Yeah.
per se. Like they would only. I don't know. It would be weird to like take things out of the competitive pool, but again, like you said, it could be just an idea they do. But so there's just always content going. So we're like we know and leaks, and if you would pay attention to anything in the media with
Looking
any
at
sort of
Reddit.
popularity in like video games or just like entertainment, like even just shows, like people are gonna leak things and things are gonna, you just know things before they are because people can't contain some of that stuff. So we have a good idea of what's coming next. Obviously, them putting the shirt on the new map
Yeah.
that came out, but new tank, new meta. By the time we pick things up back in January, the current best characters might not even be that good because there's going to be several different changes.
Praying for the Orisa nerfs.
Yeah. Well,
It's
they're-
not gonna happen.
I don't know, man.
Nope.
Sigma's really good right now too, though.
Oh,
They
it's
gave Arista the original rework. You knew it was their favorite from day one.
Yeah, that rework made Orisa really OP.
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't good
I
at the
never remember
beginning.
How she was.
I-
Yeah.
I
She
was-
wasn't good at
She
all
was
at the
not
beginning.
played at all when she first came out.
No.
And then they're like, what if we buffed her like crazy?
And then they haven't gone back on it. Except, actually, no, they reduced her
Barely.
damage reduction by 5%.
Also, we are getting support nerfs. soon.
That's supposed
That
to be
is
happening
true.
like next
Yeah.
week.
I saw a take on Twitter, like from the Overwatch Anonymous account, and it was saying that like Overwatch 1 Orisa would be better for 5v5, and Overwatch 2 Orisa would be better for 6v6. And I want to get your guys' opinion on that, because I agree that Overwatch 2 Orisa would be better for Overwatch 1.
I barely
Not
remember Overwatch 1. Episode, yeah.
Overwatch 1 Orisa had
It was
had
just a
the
placeable shield in the pole.
Oh yeah, that's right.
and she
I
still had
remember.
Fortify.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Bongo,
Yeah.
I loved Bongo.
Bongo was good.
Yeah.
But I think Overwatch 2 Orisa would be good for 6v6, but I don't think Overwatch 1 Orisa would be good for 5v5.
I think the whole identity they went with it is like getting rid of the shield makes her a more playable style. Now, back in the day, she was made in a lot of games. There are just characters created to be easier on the player. Like some people aren't Muha and can play Genji, like whatever. Like
That's me.
There are
That's me, by
characters
the
that have
way.
like insane skill
didn't say my name, but-
skill discrepancies. Like you have Orisa, like was made for lower ranked players because she places shield and then just shot and then had a pull. Characters like Yumi in League of Legends just sits on another person and that's the entire gameplay.
That's it. Yeah.
But then there's
that's
characters
the game.
like DPS Doomfist,
Yeah.
where you have to have an insane amount of skill to be able to do one thing.
So yeah, those were just like things like there's when you design characters in video games for anything, it's all about like what is their identity? What do they bring to a game that is like a character based game? So like Overwatch. And they wanted to change that identity, move away from shields, move away from stagnant gameplay. It made Orisa be more engaging with the game. So I don't know. I think it could have worked, but Old Orisa was just boring.
Yeah.
I think with now it's just so much more fluid. I feel like the game always has a tempo the entire time. And when I watch you guys even compete, or even other like pro streams of their matches, it's like there's always something going on.
Yeah,
It does not
screaming.
matter. There's always something going on. Even if there's like 2 people left on the other team, it's like they're constantly talking about something next or something new or whatever's happening in the game, right? It's like it's so fluid that the old Orisa in Overwatch 2, I don't think she would do well in certain scenarios, of course, like for even like control or bunkering on some flashpoint maps,
Mm-hmm.
but even then, I mean, what are you gonna get out of a buff with that bongo ultimate that you already are getting out of the Mercy players today?
One thing that because I mentioned this like Orisa conflict, like Overwatch 1 better to Overwatch 2. I mentioned that to Jason, who's Vexa on the team, and
I know that guy.
you do.
Wait, we do?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
But no, he said that if they made Overwatch 2 Orisa work in like 6v6, it would have ended double shield meta a lot sooner.
Well, yeah, because then she was the double shield.
Yeah, because
Person.
it was either
I think
either Reinhardt and Orisa.
We
or
could have honestly,
Sigma Orisa.
if you put that Orisa in, you'd see Orisa Zarya, honestly,
Yeah.
or Orisa Diva, would be insane. Because Orisa would just be better than
It's
Reinhardt.
very scary.
It would just be better than Reinhardt, objectively.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that'd be funny to see. I just don't think they would in this. If we were in this like model of how the game's being developed, we could have seen that in the middle of the season. But that takes a lot longer than we all think to like rework a character completely. Obviously, Roadhog is taken.
Roadhog.
Forever.
They
Did I
annou-
get delayed? Too?
Roadhog.
Yes.
They announced.
Wow.
They announced a Roadhog rework in like the middle of season 2 or season 3. They're like, Roadhog rework coming this season, mid-season patch, and then they just kind of
And
like
the season patch. The next season patch.
not even. They just
the
kind
next
of like
season's mid-season.
they
patch.
just stopped talking about it, and then eventually this
Because they
season
realized it's impossible because he's not.
his identity is the hook, and one-shotting with a hook is absurd.
He doesn't do what tanks are supposed to do.
They have to make him a DPS.
They're never going to. I think they should because it'd be funny. But giving a DPS a hook would also be
No, not
really
like,
bad.
I don't know. You should be able to like break out of the hook if it's a DPS. I don't know.
Maybe it could be like Thresh.
They give you like a they give you a
in
quick
League.
time event if you've
Chippy.
been hooked.
Like Thresh can hook someone and partly pull them.
But he doesn't pull them.
Like he pulls them like a little bit,
like,
but then he
more
can
like
bring
drags.
himself too.
Yes.
Is the whole thing
So-
Thresh can do? What if Roadhog could do that?
That's just kind of like a Junker Queen knife then.
No, it's more
No,
like
he
instead of
goes
an
to
instant-
them.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then on the flip side of it, if Thresh doesn't go to the character, he drags them instead
little
of
bit.
instantly pulling them.
Okay.
Because that could be a good thing. And I've talked to our resident Roadhog fanatic, Squamous Max on the club team, star Junkrat player, captain of the team too. He has these ideas. He thinks all this stuff of like how they're gonna rework it is like just completely like change it. So he's meant to keep people away with the scrap gun, like quick ultimate instead. Like that's just an ability. So he'll push people back with that, and then have an ultimate that's just different, and then still have the hook.
Well, I think they said that they're like reworking like his right click shot, right?
Yeah, I think so. There's so much. It's supposed to be in like, I think it's supposed to come in like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, because they said it was like 2 weeks after the mid-season patch,
Yeah,
I think.
so it'll be weird, but I don't know. The game's changing a lot, and we're trying to deal with it. And thankfully, we're done, like actually competing for now. So we don't have to worry about playing into this Sigma, Bastion, May, Lucio Bap stuff.
It doesn't look fun.
None of it's killable with the stuff we play.
Unfun.
It does not look fun.
You have to just the other team has to just royally mess up like cooldown usage or just like positioning for a kill to happen, because it's just like everyone has invulnerability or super tanky.
And I would never stoop low enough to play Orisa.
Yeah, right. Or
Or
Sigma.
Sigma.
Right.
He just doesn't want to.
I gotta have Muha play tank on a map.
We only did that once.
Yeah,
It worked pretty well.
wasn't it only
Yeah.
a scrim?
It was a scrim, I think.
If
No,
we had that lined up for
What's
South
the
Carolina,
last match?
I didn't. No, we didn't do it for South Carolina.
We did it. I played JQ, I think.
No, South
Did we?
Carolina we didn't because we
No,
only
for the
ever-
map like just now.
Yeah, the last.
Oh no. We're talking about like in scrims in Circuit Royale.
Oh yeah, we did that too.
If we had had
No,
that,
yeah,
ready-
our last game.
Really
because no, because our last game it was Muha's last game because he's graduating.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a Flashpoint on Servasa, and we were all just like, you know what? Let Muha pick whatever he wants to play, and
I did tell
we'll
him
work
that,
around
and
it.
then like I saw, I saw,
picked
Yeah.
Doomfist.
I picked Doomfist.
He
I
picked
saw
Doomfist.
Ava on DPS. I'm like,
He picked.
I got
Doomfist.
real nervous.
Ava picked Tracer, and then
you.
Zach was Jay in that match?
No,
It was
it
Zach.
wasn't. Yeah.
No, he was. He was.
It was Jay. You're right.
I
Yeah,
put
it
Jay
was
in
Jay.
to give him more playtime.
Yeah, Jay was on DPS, and me and Jason were on support. The original last semester support duo. And I did not like playing
We
Kiriko.
went 3-0 though on Flashpoint.
Oh, did
yeah,
you?
That's
because
true.
the other team was bad.
Ooh,
Burn.
They didn't win any maps. They won like one match in that whole thing against Toledo, which was a 3-2.
Yeah, I also got play of the game by like whiffing half of my shots. So that was pretty funny.
Oh my goodness. That is such a pain.
To be honest, Tyler is better hit scan than me.
He
is.
My widow's a
I would
little
say
nuts.
his widow is better than yours, but your overall hit scan is better than his.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like the only hit scan I'm good at is widow.
I was about to say, like, I've seen his widow, his snipers are crazy, but when it comes to like actual aim with like a rifle and like soldier or Cassidy, it's definitely you, Mua.
No, my tracking is pretty
Well-
good. My tracking is good.
Now, if every
alright.
character had a Doom shot,
Yeah, no, if every character had a Doomfist shotgun, I'm just saying.
It wouldn't matter at that point.
Well, it's the same projectile speed as a Doomfist shotgun.
Oh. You guys are listening to 89.1 WIDR FM now. It's been a great season, I would say, for you guys. It's been fun to watch. I love to come into the arena and hang out with you guys and talk nonsense sometimes. But something that I wanted to bring up to your attention, besides, Overwatch, those characters specifically, let's think about something a little different here now. I thought about doing this with the league team last week, but they also have like a million characters to kind of choose from in certain regards to that. But let's not specifically look at an Overwatch character or anything like that. I want to know your guys' opinion, possibly on your favorite video game character ever. This could be from a story game. This could be from an obscure like title I've never heard of. It could be a Pikmin game where you just love one of the side characters for some reason, something like that. Now, I asked you earlier to think about it, and when I see Muha looking up at the ceiling to think about it, that scares me.
No, because I only play FPS games.
What?
Well,
you play
you
a
could-
story game?
Yeah, you could
No,
do,
I never play story
you could do
games.
another
Really?
character from a different FPS.
Like what? Call of Duty?
Yeah, why not?
There's
you ever
no
play the
characters there.
campaigns?
Did you play?
No, I don't play campaigns.
What?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
that's the whole point. You buy the game at that. Like that's why the price point's at what it is.
$60. Yeah, I'm gonna
You can
spend
pay
$30
$60
for multiplayer and not
Yeah.
$60 for a campaign.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Overwatch is the only, game that has like characters that
What
I
about
know.
Ark?
What? I'll go Gigasaurus.
His custom
Griffin?
created character.
I don't know. I heard there was a
Your
story.
favorite dinosaur.
I've never played Ark.
It's a theme.
I've
There's not
never
really
heard.
like
I've never played Ark, but I heard recently there's a story to Ark, so I assume there was characters in Ark.
No,
I
it's just
looked-
it's a lore for the world, so it makes sense, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh,
kinda
so there's like
story, yeah.
logs you'll find
Yeah.
and stuff like that. What
Maybe.
about Vin Diesel? He's in the new game.
He's just a playable
Diesel's in
character.
that
You can
new
design
Ark
your
survival
character like
game?
that.
What?
Wait, Vin Diesel's in the new Ark survival game?
No, he's just on the trailer.
Oh, okay.
Wait, that's
Oh.
all it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What?
Okay, now it makes me feel better because I was like, wait, I gotta go spend the $40 right now. I gotta see Vin Diesel.
I thought Vin Diesel was actually in the game.
I mean, you can design the character yourself.
Why would you want to look like
Love
Vin
Vin
Diesel when you
Diesel.
can look like a piece of broccoli or something like that? You can make your character look like anything. Why would you want to be Vin Diesel?
Custom
I mean-
character creation in that new art game is kind of funny.
You can literally just be Popeye. Like, it's crazy.
My new bed is JQ. Literally.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Just Junker Queen.
So then, Muha, I guess, what is your favorite character then?
Since I'm a Genji man, I'll go Tracer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because I'm bad with that character,
Okay.
you know?
What's the appeal of Tracer then? Is it possibly the story of Tracer, the guy who doesn't look at
No.
stories, by the way?
It's just the design and also how she is skill-based hero, you know? And I'm really bad with that hero. So I want to get better. That's why.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Go.
Well, if we're including Overwatch, by golly, it's Doomfist. He's the coolest character in any
He is
game.
a terrorist.
Yeah, but he's rad.
Yeah.
Well,
He
the
leads a
difference-
very bad organization.
Yeah, but he's cool.
But like his whole identity is like, it's like survival of the fittest.
Yeah, but he has like the tropical hat.
Yeah, right. I don't know. It's like
It's just a different skin.
it's just like this.
Yeah, it's the best.
The lore of the game is like there's a global conflict, and he's just like the guy that is leading. Like, well, only the strongest should survive.
Whether it's Omnic or
Yeah, it's like the game takes this like global sense to it with the identity of the characters, and like with Muha saying Tracer is like she's an agent of Overwatch, and she's just like has this issue where she has time sickness. I don't know. She can like zip through. I don't know. It's,
She can zip through time.
It's true.
Crazy.
so
And
it's like
recall even.
Rewind.
Tracer is like fighting Doomfist and all over the world, and the more we go on, we learn more lore and all that stuff. Doom's just a weird character.
Well, if we're not doing Doomfist, or if we're not doing Overwatch,
You avoid an Overwatch character. I understand.
I'm
you
gonna
avoid
have to go
Overwatch
with Sly Cooper then.
character. Yeah.
The
Who's
rat.
that?
The
The
raccoon.
raccoon. Have you?
It's like it's like a really really old PlayStation game. They made like 3 of them. Then a different company made a 4th one that like wasn't canon.
It was crazy bad.
I still played it. It was
Well,
good. I mean, I just like
not
Sly
good.
Cooper games, so
They are good.
I need to play those again. You know, buy myself like a
So
$200,000
Sly Cooper
PS3.
is like a raccoon thief, pretty much. But he has like this cane that he like uses for everything.
Oh, I know
He's
that guy.
you know that guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He
But
has,
he's-
like, he has
he's
like a
cool.
blue kind of like outfit on with like a hat. He's really cool.
Coach, do you have a favorite video game character?
Probably so many, but I'd probably say Sora from Kingdom Hearts, just because it's the most complicated story of all time. Like, it could be its own 12-part podcast explaining the lore, and you'd be more confused after knowing everything. But like the game's been out since like 2002, and the character's been around since then, and half the cast is just Sora, and that's the other part of the confusing thing is they're all just they deal with time travel, and it's just like ridiculous. It's through the hearts, and I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it, but I think Sora is just a cool character just because he's cool when you're growing up because he just identifies as like, you know, his whole quote is "My friends are my power," which is like the most. It's also owned by Disney technically because you can go to like all the Disney like with like he's just friends with Hercules and.
He's friends with the Disney characters. That's so cool.
Yeah, in
I wish I was
the
friends with
most
Mickey.
recent game, or not, I guess it's technically Kingdom Hearts 3. He went to the Frozen universe, and you basically just watch all of Frozen 1 in the game. Like
Really?
the Let It Go song even plays. Like you even see like her hair go through her arm, which was like a editing error on the animators. And I was like, I knew that was a thing. And I was looking for it, and Sora's just outside the castle the whole time. Like, I'm watching this.
Goodness.
But like the combat's awesome, and the character's just iconic for over the time that he's been who he is. So I'd probably say that. But I play a million different unlike Muha, I play games that actually.
You play games.
I'm a
only for
competitive
this-
player.
Yeah. Eventually, you
I
grow
like
out
winning.
of it.
You don't win when you play story mode games.
Yeah,
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
you
you
can
do.
in your
You
heart.
can't
Yes,
lose.
you do. You can't lose though. That's right.
That's not true.
And there
If
are
you
other
give up
people
in
that are
Dark
just, like,
Souls,
saying mean things to me the whole time.
I always mute every voice
Yeah.
chat. Like,
Every single.
yeah, except Overwatch.
Yeah.
Because you need that.
yeah, you need to
Voice-
roast J3.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did yesterday.
Goes 0 deaths. 0
Yeah,
deaths.
imagine
He
having-
goes, you're a Genji player. Nano Blade. That was such a funny clip. Oh goodness. Well, to wrap up even
What about
that-
you?
Yeah,
Yes,
what's
yes, yes,
your
yes.
favorite character?
So
Alan Wake.
I was gonna say it probably was Alan.
It does come
Wake.
out tomorrow, doesn't it?
It does come out tomorrow.
Is it Alan Wake?
Oh, it is Alan Wake. So my favorite video game character I would say is gotta be a character from a kind of a psychological survival horror game.
It's the name of the
Called
game.
Alan Wake.
Alan
And the
Wake.
main character's name is Alan Wake. But if you shorten it, don't say Alan, you do A Wake. It's funny because he's awake. That's
Wait,
the
I
part
am
of the
too.
story. The part of the story is that he's in a dream state area after he writes a story that comes to life, a horror story that comes to life, and he's stuck inside of a dream, basically. But the world around him is still happening and he's still living in the real world. It's a weird set of sequences that happens, but he's just a really cool character. He has a lot of dynamics and he goes through a crazy arc of like going insane and then realizing it's just reality. It's cool.
Yeah, well, it comes out tomorrow, and I saw all the reviews, and it's like
It's
10 out
game
of 10.
of the year.
It's not gonna get game of the year.
It will be
It'll be
game
Spider-Man
of the year.
2. Okay.
Spider-Man 2 will probably be game of the year.
Either
People are
that
not
or
happy.
Baldur's Gate.
People are not happy with Spider-Man 2.
Okay, Baldur's. Okay.
Yeah, but those are all the.
Okay, they're happy with it, but it's 15 hours to beat the game.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
For 3 years waiting, and it's
Okay.
like completion is like 25, which is crazy.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
the
that's
first.
only the main story, right?
The-
15 hours?
15
hours
is
for the
just
main
like
story,
doing
yeah.
like the main
Yeah,
missions,
really.
which
Main story,
for a AAA story game is not good.
I think it took me like 50 something hours to 100% the first Spider-Man game.
Yeah,
that's I would say that's the
yeah,
same time. For
it's
me
just
too.
like a lot of games like it's just been a normal thing for games to be like around 40, like 30 to 40 hours is like to beat a game, but
that's so long.
Yeah, that's a little absurd that it's only 15 hours.
So even if then we say that, like, Baldur's Gate 3, we could talk about the Game of the Year title specifically. Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Alan Wake 2, and what are the two other games that are considered Game of the Year's contenders?
well,
right
it's 6 that are always
Yeah. But there's
nominated.
two other ones that have been out right now. Because Starfield is definitely not going to be a Game of the Year
Starfield will get
contender.
nominated, but it will not.
But it will
win.
not be a contender. I don't know. It flopped so hard.
Tears of the Kingdom, Jedi Fallen Survivor,
Yeah.
or Survivor, not Fallen. I don't
Something
know.
like that.
I never even finished the first
Um,
Jedi game.
They're good.
They are.
Hogwarts Legacy. came out.
That could get that might get an award in something else, but like this game, this year for games is just ridiculous because
Actually, you know what? I might as well.
I don't know. There's so many good games that came out, and it's just hilarious that like some chose to release now, like Starfield,
Yeah.
and when it's like, oh my god, every other game is just better. But like all the big studios are gonna have stuff. It's like, I want Baldur's Gate 3 to win,
Okay.
but
So
it could be
the
something else.
biggest contenders right now are going to be that new Legend of Zelda game, The Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. That has a 93 Metacritic score right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's super good game though. I've heard it's shorter though than other games.
Yeah.
Which brings up that same issue of like, AAA is not making it this long. But Resident Evil 4 remake, I don't think they can consider that one a Game of the Year title since it's a remake. right?
They have had a remake game as a Game of the Year contender.
Okay.
And especially like Final Fantasy VII remake was Game of the Year worthy. Rebirth is probably going to win it next year, in all honesty.
And then like Street Fighter 6, Spider-Man 2 are the other ones. And then everything else is kind of below there. Starfield has an 86 overall. Hogwarts Legacy had an 85 overall Metacritic score. So that's your like quick ones out there, but I would definitely say that, you know, my personal bias is that I love the Alan Wake story, and Alan Wake 2 raised the bar once again for that like horror style of video games, which I'm a big fan of.
Is it going to be like a direct sequel? Like
It is a direct sequel.
I meant, yeah, like, do you have to play the first one?
No,
for
they
the-
give you a recap.
Okay.
At the start of the
'Cause
second game,
When did the first one even come out?
2008.
Really?
That's the problem too. Is like
Yeah, 2008.
the fan. There's not too much crossover from people that still even because like I never heard of Alan Wake until you started talking about it.
2010. It came out in 2010.
The first time I heard of Alan Wake is when they gave it out for free on Epic Games Launcher, and I got it, and then I
The
just
Alan
never
Wake
played it.
Remastered. It's so good. Though.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that happened. It's like
it was when I was
The Evil
big into
Within's on
Fortnite.
there right now. Oh, well, sorry. The first Evil Within was. Now it's Evil Within 2 on the free
you
games
know,
wrap.
I don't remember all the categories unless there's like a horror category or something like that. Like they sometimes just make new ones, but I'm sure Alan Wake 2 will win something, but probably won't be Game of the Year because of just what it offers and the amount of people that probably are interested in it, kind of thing. Like
It probably will just be Baldur's Gate.
it has to be.
I bought Baldur's Gate, made my character, played it for like 10 minutes. I'm like, I don't like this, and then I just returned it.
Do you even like any games?
What do you mean?
You hate Overwatch, but
I
you
love
still
Overwatch.
play it.
That's actually true. I hate Overwatch. I love Doomfist though, so that's why I still play it.
Doesn't make any sense.
No. Yeah, no, I played Red Dead Redemption 2 recently for the first time. I played
It's a really good game.
that.
Oh.
That is a fantastic game.
Cyberpunk.
I was gonna bring
I
that
don't
out.
think that
but
can win Game of the Year.
I was
It
gonna
can
ask
win
that.
something.
It'll
but
win
Well, it's
something.
an expansion, so I don't know if that is.
it can win
Isn't it like a
something.
20-hour-long expansion though? It's
Yeah,
not
no,
super long.
but still, it
crazy.
is absolutely worth it.
If they had released the game like
No,
that,
it's like $30.
it would have won Game of the Year if it released like it did now.
Yeah. It would,
If it released with, like, if it released now, in the state that it's in, with like the DLC being part of just the main game, absolutely it would have.
Because it would have been. It's been 2 years since it released, right?
Mm-hmm.
They should have taken that time. Because I remember buying it and I was like, this is not good.
I played it for 60 hours on release. Not a single bug.
It's crazy. Because I played it for 20 and can't tell you anything that happened.
I love Cyberpunk is one of my favorite games of all time.
I bought it and then tried to refund it like 2 months later when I only had like 2 hours in the game. And then I forgot that you can't refund like a Steam game like months after.
Yeah, it's
And I was like,
either
"Aw."
I think it's 1 month or if you have less than 2 hours.
You guys play a lot of story game modes.
It's entertainment.
It's-
I mean, yeah.
I don't
Like,
know.
I got so many. I have so many hours.
It's
on
like watching a
Cyberpunk
TV
and-
show or just like reading a book. It's just visual and it's like, it's not the same thing over and over again.
The only game
it
that I
is with the Lost
played, it
Ark.
was God of War. That's it.
That is
Which
so
one?
good though.
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah,
that is
all
such
of
a
them.
good
You've played
story.
all of the God of War. So
Yeah.
you just Kratos goes and fights all the gods, and
Yeah.
then he does it again, and then he does
Exactly.
it again, and then he falls down the mountain, and then spends the entire game climbing
it, yeah.
and taking out all the gods.
Yep.
And like, and now he has a son.
I
Who
mean,
then he has to climb a mountain with again.
That is the plot of the first God of War.
And then in the second one, Atreus, his son, has to climb a mountain to get to Asgard.
Yes.
I guess
my
I love
goodness.
mountains then.
I guess so.
must, yeah.
You can play steep.
Red Dead Redemption has some good mountains in it.
You'd like it, yeah. There's a part where you have to climb like in the middle of a blizzard up a mountain.
That's literally the first two.
It's like
the
the
first
first-
2 hours of the game, you're stuck on a mountain.
I guess I'm playing the first 2 hours then.
But yeah, those are pretty cool answers. I love talking about video game characters in general, even that. But
Because then more people get to learn about Alan Wake.
yes, that is true. I got the free since I pre-ordered Alan Wake. I got the free skin in Fortnite.
Oh my
for it.
god.
Are you sponsored by them?
By who? Alan
You.
Wake?
Yeah.
No, I'm not sponsored by Remedy Entertainment. No, I wish I was
wish.
though. Please, guys. I will preach your game to the end of the stars. I'm your number
Listen,
one.
he's made an impact on our whole group of people.
Our whole group of friends.
Most of us have never
talking about it.
Most of us have never heard of Alan Wake.
Did anyone else get the game?
Our director.
I don't think so. Just
director
Tavian,
knew
maybe.
about. Yeah, our director Tavian knew about Alan Wake, and when I was like, "Yeah, Alan Wake 2 is coming out," and he looked at me and was like, "Wide eyes." It was like, "It's coming out soon." I was like, "What?
You know about
You
this?
know about this?"
You found another.
I did. I found someone I can share a bond with. And then he proceeds to tell me, I don't remember this story. I should go back and look at it. It hurt. It hurt
Because it
the
was
soul.
forever ago.
I can't believe that you played God of War and you loved God of War, and you just haven't played any other story games.
I guess
Because there are so many story games that are better than God of War. God of War is really good. Don't get
Well,
me wrong.
Just the first place, like the new age,
Like the
God of War, that
2016
one game of the
and
year.
Ragnarok.
Those were good. The rest of
20
them were like good, but they were never in contention
Was
for
it
like
2016? No, it was early. It was later than 2016. 2018? Yeah, because it's
something
4
like
years
that.
apart.
Yeah.
I still remember how I played the first God of War. I used to have that PlayStation 2, I think, and you have that memory card that you insert.
Yeah.
I didn't have that, and I
Oh, so
was
you had to do one full playthrough?
yeah, and
without saving?
I used to leave it like on,
Oh my gosh.
and my mom
Goodness.
was just walks in, turn it off every
No,
time.
it's all erased.
I go to sleep. I come. I wake up. I go to the PlayStation and it's off. I was like, I wasted 10 hours, mom.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh my
You
god.
can just buzz
I only
it,
had like
save
2
it.
hours left.
It's like
Oh no.
yeah, it's the same way you
I got my
explain
hands on
it.
my head. I understand exactly what you're going through.
You explain it to your parents and they don't understand. It's the same way they say you buzz the online game.
Well,
And
also,
go do
right.
something.
Yeah.
also you're leaving like a PS2 on for hours and hours
you
and
can
hours.
cook something.
Yeah, you can.
You
you
can
could.
cook
You could
something.
literally make a
Play
nice
all night and then
steak
cook
dinner on it.
breakfast.
Yeah, exactly.
You leave it on overnight, go to sleep.
You don't
wake up
have-
and put an egg on it, and it's-
Repeat process.
So part of me is on the side of your parents, like you could have just burnt your house down, but like also, come on.
Dude,
Hey.
I really funny. That just reminded me. I used to have just a GameCube, and you needed the memory cartridges for that too.
I have one of
And
those,
I
and I
don't
have the memory
have any of the
cartridges.
I didn't have any of the memory cartridges when we first got it, and I was playing The Sims 2. Well, I may have lost like a full like day and a half worth of progress, just because I just shut it off. And then I relaunched. I'm like, all right, because The Sims 2 was more like quest oriented, and they had like the story thing and quest oriented it. So it was like it was fun. I basically just only did that. I didn't really care about building my own house and letting the sim like do its thing. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy this little story, and I lost it all, and I never went back.
Never give up, never what?
never back down.
Never what?
That's what I say every time I get ready.
Never give up. My mom would play Spyro. She would buy so many memory cartridges to play Spyro. Or
Really?
Crash Bandicoot, yeah.
Yeah,
She was
because
diehard.
because those memory cards hold nothing. I have a GameCube in my apartment, and we have a memory card, and it literally says on it 1 megabyte.
Well, I mean, yeah. No, that
It'll hold 1 megabyte.
well, because physical games take up less space anyways on like the game consoles.
because it just reads the disc and goes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was the other part of it. That's just how it worked. So it made sense for PlayStation back then. But all of like Xbox was like internal memory, but it still didn't have that much. I remember
Was
getting
like 200 megabytes.
no, oh yeah, the original ones, yeah. And then like I got my 360, and I think it had like 32 gigs, and that was it. I'm like, you can have a game downloaded.
One game.
And now we got games like specifically like Baldur's Gate, which was like 170 gigs. Red Dead Redemption was like 150
that
gigs.
was, yeah, it was like a 90
The new
gigabyte game on my
Jedi
Xbox.
Survivor game was like 155,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
It's just like these Western
I mean, it
game
makes
developers.
sense for Red Dead because Red Dead 2 is like
It is
30
beautiful,
hours long.
completely open world.
It is so long. And then
And
if
the
you
map is
100% it, it's like
huge.
72 hours to be 100%.
Really?
I don't remember. Hold on.
I think I got like 79%, and then just like because I finished the story.
Evan, how long
It took me like
did you
55
put into
hours.
Baldur's Gate? Are you even finished with Baldur's Gate?
I played through it twice with 170 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That tells you exactly what you expect from what it should be a AAA title.
It's not even a AAA studio.
It's not. You're right. I forgot.
They just spent 6 years on it and kept it in like open beta the whole time. It's like crazy, but I love getting like it's like the current phenomenon is just like boy math for video games is like, well, if I spent $60 on this and played it for 60 hours, each hour only cost me $1.
I mean that's how I think about it.
Boy, man.
Yeah, like I paid $60 for Baldur's Gate 3 and played it for 170 hours. That's great. Like entertainment value is like crazy because like you go to the movie theater, like Tyler's gonna do tonight, and
FNAF
spend
movie.
Freddy's.
I'm so excited.
spend like what, like $12 typically on a ticket is around like 12 to 15 is like what current prices are at, and then maybe you get snacks and like that's like so much for what, a 2-hour movie. Buy any video game, like obviously like there's free competitive games, but some of them sometimes you pay a little bit for. Like the amount of hours all of us have in Overwatch is ridiculous for the amount of money we put into it. It's like,
And also, like, for most of Overwatch 1, there is no reason to put money into the game.
yeah,
Because you just got loot boxes for free. But now they've gone and done a Fortnite.
well, Fortnite changed the game.
Yeah. Fortnite changed
Fortnite
everything.
changed it all.
Fortnite literally changed everything.
Was it 2016 that everything just
2017.
shifted? 17, yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole reason that we're, like, allowed to do crossplay on every single device now.
Yeah, we have to thank them.
And then Twitch too, the Twitch drops.
Yeah.
They started doing that with Fortnite, I think.
Wow.
No, I think they did that before Fortnite.
Well, they like fully incorporated it even for like beta key drops after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valorant had beta
Valorant,
key
yep.
drops for watching people.
I remember I was the last one in my friend group to get a Valorant drop.
I got it one of the first, and I played
I
it
actually-
barely.
Funny story. A week has gone by. All my friends have been playing Valorant for a week, and I've just been in call watching them. And then one day when I was downstairs, I was getting yelled at by my parents for some reason. And then I just pulled out my phone.
reason.
I pulled out my phone. I got a notification. It's like, you got a key. And then I'm like, while my parents are like yelling at me, I'm like messaging my friends on Discord, like, yo.
Tyler, clean your room. Yo.
No, I don't know.
Valorant.
It was something about school because I didn't like school. High school isn't real.
Tyler, why didn't you do your homework? Yo.
Yo.
Back on the Valorant.
Hopping on
grind.
soon.
Red Dead 2, by the way, is about 50 hours to complete just the main objectives. And then to 100% the game, it is 181 hours.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
I remember playing
Yeah, it took
through
me
it and
like
like
58
I was just
hours.
exhausted from playing it because it's just like there's so much.
I did like
then you,
3 side quests,
then you-
and it still took me 60 hours
Yeah,
to beat
same.
then you beat the game and you're like, wait, this epilogue is very long.
the game. The
Dude,
epilogue
I-
is long.
When I got to the epilogue, I was so confused. Like I was
It
like,
sets up the first game.
Yeah, well, it
which
sets
is
up-
weird to think about.
it sets up the first game from like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And then
Hype.
yeah, and I was just so lost because I played another like 15 hours.
Yeah. They have the funniest thing they could do if they make a Red Dead 3. With
Have
the
it go
main
before.
character. No. The main character is the son of the
John Marston.
Oh,
John Marston.
Yeah.
They
Because
should
you-
have done that
because you
can
play as John at the end of 1.
Yeah, you play as son. at
So
the
it'd
end
be
of Red
really funny if they start off Red Dead 3 with John as the main character.
Until you reach GTA.
Yeah.
Dead. Yeah, the Brown universe connects.
They are technically because there is I don't know if you ever got to this, but there is like a time traveler in Red Dead.
No.
There's like a side quest.
remember.
There's a side quest where you go to like this cabin. There's this like crazy guy in just like a nice like a modern suit, and he has like a cork board of like all this crazy stuff going on with like Mount Chiliad in GTA. And then you come back after like collecting a bunch of stuff for him, and his mom walks in, and he's like, hey, I'm looking for this guy. And he's like, oh, that's my baby, and she's holding him as a baby. It's wild.
Weird. Maybe it's just a ploy.
I mean, it
Like-
very well could be, but there's also is UFOs in Red Dead.
2?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And GTA.
And GTA, yeah.
That's just a thing.
Yeah, there's like, I think if you go to like a burnt down church or something like that, if you go to like at like 3 a.m. in Red Dead, you can like see a
There's so many things to do
UFO.
in that game.
I know. It's crazy.
But yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for joining me this week. It's been fun. I'm excited to get the podcast back up and running throughout these next couple of weeks as we get ready to wrap up our semester. So good luck to you guys in your finals, and congrats and good luck at the end of this semester, Muha. I'm happy to see you graduate. It's
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you,
It's
Chibi.
been fun to work with you, especially when you pay club dues when you're not supposed to as a varsity player.
Did you do that?
You did do that.
I don't remember, to be
We
honest.
refunded it. It was really funny because Noah, the
Did you get
club
pinged?
officer, goes, yeah, it was
remember-
X7RZ because he just paid dues and coached Overwatch dues amount he paid. And I was like, huh?
I didn't know
so-
about that.
For the club, you
Yeah.
mean? I don't remember that, to be
Well,
honest.
regardless, I just pick on you. So thank you guys so much for joining me. You guys are listening to 89.1 WIDR FM, and this is ESBN signing off. Bye.
Bye-bye.